What is up guys, Jarv here, back today jumping into Destiny 2. Now in today's video, we're taking a look at all the Trials updates, all the additions that have been added within Beyond Light, but also the loot from this weekend's events. If you want to find out what's changed, but also what rewards are on offer, then be sure to stick around and enjoy the video. If you do enjoy the video, be sure to leave a rating down below, that super helps me out here on the channel. And if you're brand new here and want to keep up to date with all the latest Destiny 2 content, be sure to hit subscribe as well. But without further delay guys, let's jump into the video. Now with the launch of Beyond Light, we see some sweeping changes with Trials of Osiris. Now the power level requirement has been increased to 1210 power, so if you haven't reached that already, you'll need to do a little bit more grinding in order to get there. Now as well as increasing the power requirement for the event, they've also added Adept weapons and weapon mods specific to the Flawless reward chest. So beginning in Beyond Light, all existing Trials weapons will now have Adept versions. The intent here is for all Trials weapons to have an Adept version, and these will be rolled out over time. Their infusion caps will match that of the season they were introduced, but the ones that we currently have having an infusion cap of Season of the Worthy. Now additionally to this though, they're also introducing Adept weapon mods into the sandbox for Beyond Light, and these can only be applied to any of the Adept weaponry. So with that being said, let's take a look at the Adept weapons and how these differ from regular base weapons. Now Masterworking an Adept weapon will grant you additional stats. You'll get plus 10 for the primary stat as you normally would whenever you masterwork a weapon, but you'll also get plus 3 to all alternative stats too, making it a very solid version of that weapon indeed. Now Adept weapons can either use standard weapon mods, or you can apply the new Adept weapon mods which you can earn by going flawless. As well as these though, there's also an Adept shader that has been made available for these weapons. Now these shaders aren't awarded as a consumable when dismantling an Adept weapon, so as such they can't be applied to any other pieces of gear. So with that in mind, this makes the Adept weapons not only perform marginally better than their base versions, but they also look entirely unique too. Now as for the Adept mods, these come in two varieties. You get a weapon stat boost, which grant plus 10 to any particular stat in a similar way to a Masterwork stat would. So for example, you can put the Adept range mod on your summoner, and this will give you a plus 10 to your range stat. Now there are some versions of mods that grant improved bonuses, but have downsides too. Now an example of this is the Adept mag mod. This gives you plus 40 to your magazine, but minus 20 to your handling. Now if you compare that to the backup mag, which is a very similar mod, that provides a plus 30 to your magazine with no penalties at all. So it would be an experiment to mix and match these mods with some of the base mods we already have, but also stacking these mods on top of a regular masterwork to get crazy range stats on things like the summoner, but also the Eye of Soul. Now in terms of their acquisition, to earn Adept weapons and Adept weapon mods, players must complete a Flawless Trials passage and open the Flawless chest at the Lighthouse. Each week a different Adept mod can drop from the Flawless chest too. Now in terms of Adept weapons, these will be on a weekly rotation, so there is a chance that a given mod may not make its appearance until later in the season. Now when you do get a mod, it is unlocked for use on any owned Adept weapons that you've already acquired too. Now Adept weapons will be available from the Flawless chest on a bi-weekly basis, alternating between armor and weapons. Now the first Adept weapon acquired on a given week will also be a pinnacle drop, so if you're still on that power grind, it'll be a fantastic way to get a few extra power levels. And finally, as for the Adept weapons themselves, these will be on a set rotation, so you may continue to earn alternative rolls on a specific Adept weapon by completing Flawless passages throughout a given weekend. So if you're still chasing down a God roll, but you want the Adept version of it, you can farm Trials now to try and get your hands on it. So that's a breakdown of all the changes coming to Trials of Osiris in Beyond Light. And with that all being said and done, let's jump into the details of this weekend's event. So first things first, be sure to head over to Saint 14 in the tower and grab the weekly Trials bounty. If you're not able to get 3 consecutive wins or more, this will allow you to get a Trials engram and at least get the reward from the 3rd win if you're unable to get 3 consecutive wins. So if you struggle to get consecutive wins, be sure to grab this just to make sure you don't end up with no loot from the event. And with your Trials bounties in hand and also your passage in your inventory, it's time to jump into the map this week. Now the map this week is Bannerfall, so you return to the old tower. There's the first Trials, officially the first Trials of Season of the Hunt. So fully expect sniper rifles to take the forefront on this map. There's some very long lanes, the hand cannons and sniper rifles will be king here, but beware of those teams that run shotguns and will hide around the corridors to try and take your team out. Now if you're new to Destiny and time runs out, there is a capture zone that spawns. You can find this in the middle courtyard in and around the B flag, so be sure to get comfortable possible with that area, as those lengthy games that get drawn out are likely to end up in this area. Massive shout out to Crispal Playbook for this callout map. I've provided a link to the Reddit post which has all the callout maps in the video description below, so be sure to use this to help you with callouts for this weekend. So we know what the map is for this weekend, but what is the loot? What rewards do you get from this weekend's event? Well, for 3 wins this weekend, you can get your hands on the chest piece. So the chest piece is the first reward for the first trials of Season of the Hunt. So for 3 wins, you can get one of the best looking chest pieces available inside the game. So whether you be a hunter, warlock or a titan, this is a great week to jump in and try trials if you haven't tried it already, to get your hands on some sweet looking armor for the up and coming season. And remember, if you're not able to get 3 consecutive wins, be sure to complete at least 3 wins as part of the trials bounty to ensure you can get this from your trials engram. And if you're able to get to 5 wins this weekend, you can get your hands on a Exile's Curse. So this is a legendary energy fusion rifle. It's a high impact frame, so it's slow firing and deals high damage, and a weapon is more accurate when you are stationary and aiming down sights. Now, as always with these trials weapons, there is the trials unique perk called Celerity, and that's where you gain the following effects if you're the last living member on your fire team, and this will provide increased target acquisition, increased handling and reload speed, as well as reduced flinch from all incoming fire. Now, as things stand, 22% of players have this weapon. Fusion rifles are in an interesting place. This can have some interesting roles, so if you want to get your hands on a new one for this week, then you'll need to get 5 wins in this weekend's event to get a new Exile's Curse. Now, if you're able to get to 7 wins with your fire team, you can get your hands on the Eye of Soul. This is one of the best legendary kinetic sniper rifles inside Destiny 2. It's an adaptive frame, so it has a well-rounded grip, is reliable and sturdy. It comes with, again, the unique perk Celerity as a possible option. It has some really great perks too, things like accurized rounds and snapshot, with the possibility of rolling vorpal weapon and box breathing too. And if you want one that's really snappy on the opening shot of attack, then opening shot is also an available trait, and that will improve your accuracy and range on the opening shot of attack. So as I said, one of the best sniper rifles in the game, well worth the effort if you can get to 7 wins this weekend. So be sure to form those fire teams, and remember, you don't need 7 consecutive wins, you just need to have 7 wins total on your card to get your hands on the Eye of Soul. Now, if you're able to achieve a flawless victory in this weekend's trials event, you will get your hands on the Summoner Adept. So the Adept version of the Summoner is the first flawless reward for Season of the Hunt. This is one of the best legendary energy auto rifles inside the game. It's 600 RPM, it's an adaptive frame, so it has a well-rounded grip, is reliable and sturdy, but also has one of the best perk pull options available on a 600 RPM auto. Remember, the Adept version is not just a +10 stat to a masterwork, but as well as that, it also has +3 on every stat on the weapon, making it even more consistent and potent than it already is. Now, as well as the Adept version of the Summoner, you'll also get access to the Adept Targeting Mod 2. This provides -20 to your stability stat, but +10 to your aim assist. So it'll be interesting to try this one out to see how beneficial it can be, especially on an Adept auto rifle. And finally, another thing to remember as well, if you're able to achieve a flawless passage, you have a chance to get your hands on the Exotic Sparrow, exclusive to Trials of Osiris. And as you can see, it's very ornate and well worth the effort if you can get a flawless victory. So there we have it, guys. That's going to wrap up the Trials reset for this week. Let me know how you found the video down below, and let me know what loot you're able to get from this weekend's event as well. If you have enjoyed the video, be sure to leave a rating down below. That super helps me out here on the channel. And if you are new around here and want to keep up to date with all the latest Destiny 2 content, be sure to hit subscribe as well. I'm going to jump back into the game as always, guys, but I will catch you all again very soon.